For as long as the sports softball and baseball have been around, there's always been a disagreement on which sport is harder. So as a softball player, I thought it would be fun to ask Ryan what people think, whether they think softball or baseball is harder. In order to find an answer to my question, I decided to interview many different people. Anywhere from softball and baseball players to people who used to play softball and baseball to anybody who's never picked up a bat and a few coaches here and there. These are a few of the people that I'm going to be interviewing, whether they think softball or baseball is harder.
I think softball's harder because as a girl or a woman, you're automatically weaker than men, and they think that softball isn't as important as baseball.
I think that softball is harder because I personally played it myself, and I've never played baseball, so I don't know. It's kind of biased of me, but I believe that softball is harder because as a woman, you're stereotyped as weaker than a man.
I then sat down and interviewed a few people more in depth about their opinions and views on the topic.
I think softball and baseball are equally difficult because in softball the hitter and pitcher are closer together, so it's harder to time when to hit the ball, but also the ball's bigger, so it is easier to see when you hit the ball. Baseball, the field is bigger, so the distance is longer to run, but then also the ball is smaller, so it's harder to see when you hit the ball.
I feel baseball is a harder sport because the ball's smaller, the pitcher is usually throwing harder, and you're just trying to put the ball in play, and it's harder to pick up the ball because it's white, but one way I feel I can pick up the ball is from the laces. And then fielding, I feel fielding is harder because the way, how fast the ball comes, and you just have to be on your toes and ready all the time. But aside softball, because it's a closer distance and the ball is traveling about the same speed, but the baseball is smaller and it's white, and the softball is green and bigger, but you can hit a baseball farther than you can a softball because baseball has a harder core than a softball, and softball is more squishy. And a baseball bat, it has a bigger barrel compared to a softball bat, and the softball bat is really narrow. And
I'd say baseball is harder than softball just because the ball is smaller than the baseball is smaller than a softball, and baseball just seems a little more organized, I guess, because there isn't as many errors as there is in softball. There isn't. In baseball, there's expected to be almost 0 errors in the field. Softball, there normally is some errors in the field. That's why I'd say baseball is harder than softball.
At the beginning of this project, I decided to put a poll on Instagram asking which sport they thought was harder, softball or baseball, and the results that came back were quite surprising. I had 38 votes for baseball and 37 votes for softball. So overall, I believe that softball and baseball are just as difficult as each other.